Morning, Amity Knitters. It's Holly. It's Monday, July 6th, and I'm on my way to Waterbury, Vermont to a store called Yarn. This local yarn store is owned by Jen Carlo, and I'm going to have a tour and interview her how she made the amazing transition into local yarn store owner. She has a really exciting and fun story, so I'm looking forward to seeing her again and getting a chance to see her beautiful shop. Talk to you soon. So we arrived in Waterbury, Vermont at Yarn. The storefront was wonderful, easy to park, and it was lovely to see Jen again. So let's get started on our interview and tour of the store. So, hi Jen, I'm Holly.
Hi Holly, I'm Jen. All right, so we don't have a whole lot of local yarn, unfortunately, in the summer, but the reason for that is our local producers tend to take the beautiful yarn that we have during the winter back for the summer so they can do farmers markets and small festivals and get out and meet lots of people. But I just want to highlight a few things. We do have this beautiful self-striping hand-dyed yarn, Woolens and Nosh. Michelle Joyce is the dyer, and she's down, I believe, in Bradford, Vermont, and it's just absolutely gorgeous stuff. So we're looking forward to getting more of this back in the fall. We also have a little bit of Bobolink yarns. Bobolink has just changed hands, but this is truly local yarn. We know these sheep. They lived up north, and the colors are just beautiful. So hopefully we'll have some more Bobolink soon. And I also want to highlight my friend Amy just made this beautiful chicken for me. We're looking for a name for her, and she made it out of Good Shepherd yarn, which is dyed by Carolyn Partridge down in Windham, Vermont. She raises the sheep for the wool, and she raises the goats for the mohair, and she gets a whole array of gorgeous colors, which are in the store from about Election Day till the end of April every year. And so we have a couple examples of her beautiful yarn here that we carry every winter. This area here is typically full of local yarn during the winter. We have Carolyn Partridge's Good Shepherd yarn. That's from Windham, Vermont. And so please come in sometime this winter and you will see a gorgeous array of colors here. Okay, about 4 years ago, I went on a wool and whiskey tour in Scotland, and I had the great privilege to meet Di Gilpin. And she and her partner Sheila have written a fascinating book on Ganseys. That's what they did during lockdown. And we have some of this Di Gilpin, I'm going to call it Leland just because that sounds fancier, but it could be Laland too. It's beautiful lamb's wool in a DK. And then we also, a few years ago, the only store in Vermont to carry the Jamieson & Smith 2-ply jumper weight. And I love this array of shelves because all of the beautiful colors just kind of flow into each other. We have about 55 colors here. And we order at Jamieson & Smith in the Shetland Islands. They are wonderful to work with, and we're always trying to add new colors when we do an order. And people love the opportunity to just come in and actually see the colors when they're putting together their color work project. And actually, let me highlight this. This is this year's Shetland Wool Week hat. And my friend Julie made that, and it's so beautiful. Those are my kinds of colors. And every year when the new Shetland Wool Week pattern comes out, Julie makes those for the store. That is also one of the more recent years of the Shetland Wool Week hat. And those probably get more comment than just about anything else in the store because they are so beautiful and vibrant, and we have all the colors to make them.
So Yarn is not a huge store compared to others I've been to, but it has everything that you need. The store itself is very comfortable, easy to maneuver and get around. So many beautiful yarns, really well displayed. I appreciated the ability to not only see all of the different yarns, but to touch them and move around the store easily. That's always such a lovely benefit. So you can tell that there's great thought in the layout of the store itself. And I use this phrase often to pay homage to Jaws, the movie, but to say, when you go to Yarn, you are going to need a bigger bag.
So one of the brands that we carry in the store that you might not see everywhere is Lang. It's a German-Swiss brand, very nice people. absolutely gorgeous yarns. We have this Lang Eternity. It's out new this season, and it's 100% cotton, worsted weight, and there's a lot of yardage on each of these. I made this top over the last month or so, 2 months, out of the Lang Eternity, and it's absolutely gorgeous, so comfortable, feels so good on the skin. This cotton tweed is a cotton silk blend, and again comes in lots of different colors, as Holly will show you. Has a very subtle flecky tweed to it, and again feels wonderful. Their yarns are so luxurious and just feel great. And this is one of our favorite yarns in the store. This top was made out of it. It's called Rancho Relaxo. My friend Mary made that top for the store, and probably has sold more yarn than any other store sample we've had. And this Lang Via is a cotton merino yak blend, so it is absolutely gorgeous. It feels wonderful. It's more of a 3-season yarn because of the blend. You can wear it most of the year, and it's just gorgeous. And this pink in particular, I have a hard time keeping in stock because the Great Northern Yarn Haul is on now and it'll fly out the door. And Lang Donegal Tweed is a little bit more of a wintry yarn, but also gorgeous and comes in so many vibrant colors. This is a worsted weight as well, 100% wool, and just so nice. So I would suggest checking out some of the Lang brands in the store.
Prior to sitting down for our face-to-face sit-down interview, I wanted to do a quick walk around the store and show you a little bit more of this incredible space. There are so many beautiful hand-knit and crocheted samples everywhere to really give you a strong sense of how each yarn works up and how it looks put together. Some things, as we all know, when we look to purchase yarns, we look and say, wow, I think this is going to be great, and then it's just not exactly what we expected. So I love that this store really represents the different yarns and has them in a way that we can tell what our project might just look like. Out. So here we are in Yarn in Waterbury, Vermont with Jen Carlo. the owner of the store, who's so graciously opened up for us today on Monday so that I can go home with some Jameson yarn when I leave. But also to fill us in on what she's been doing and how did she end up owning a yarn store in Waterbury, Vermont. So Jen, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, and
Sure.
I want to hear the story because I have a really good sense of it, but I want to hear it firsthand.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Holly, welcome. We're so delighted to have you here, and thank you for coming for this visit. I picked up knitting just about 20 years ago now. It was a complete accident. My grandmothers had tried to teach me to knit and crochet when I was very small.
Same story.
Didn't really ever pick up on it. And I was looking for a hobby, and I happened to wander into a Michael's over in Plattsburgh, New York. And I thought, knitting, I'll give it a shot. So I signed up for a class, and the instructor called, and she said, you know what, you're the only person who signed up for the class. So Michael's won't run it, but I tell you what, my husband tends bar at the American Legion, which was kind of near where I lived, and she said, if you want to come there every Tuesday night for the next couple of weeks, I'll give you a lesson and we can have a beer. So I was like,
nice.
Okay, well, it
sounds fun.
That sounds great, right? So I did that, and she was a great instructor, and it was a great fun way to learn, and been absolutely obsessed ever since. Ever since.
It happens to the best of us.
It does.
I have a very similar story. So yeah.
Yeah. And I tell friends and family all the time, I feel bad, genuinely bad for anybody who's not going to have beautiful yarn in their life today.
They don't know what they're missing.
They really don't. So I try to provide that for as many people as I can. So I've worked in higher ed for a long time, higher ed student affairs, and back in 2017, I hit a milestone birthday, and if I can be honest, wasn't handling it very well. So I was working at a university in Pittsburgh at the time and decided to just blow up my life and run off with the circus, literally.
Okay, this is where I know the story from.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
So, if you don't know anyone who ran away with the circus, you now do.
And then ran away to the yarn store. So, I mean, it's a great arc. But I came back to Vermont. I had lived here for just a few years, several years ago. Came back to Vermont to work with Circus Smirk, which is the only traveling youth circus in the U.S. And they also have a lovely summer camp up in Greensboro, Vermont. And then, to be honest, COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And I had always had in the back of my mind that a yarn store would be a great retirement job for me. And COVID hours were
changed
reduced.
A lot of lives.
Changed a lot of lives. And as I was trying to figure out what could happen next, I got an email from the former owners of this store saying, we're thinking of selling the store. We're just kind of putting it out to our whole community to see if anybody might be interested in pursuing this. And I was like, well, that is the universe looking out for Jen. So I bought the store in February 2021, so about 5.5 years in, and I work a day job from the store remotely. It's 3/4 time, so it's possible to balance that. And this is my workplace most of the time. It's filled with color and texture and wonderful humans, and what could possibly be better?
I love that story. All right, so Jen, the universe spoke to you.
The universe spoke to me.
And now you're going to buy a yarn store. I'm going to have you pick up your life story then.
I will have to say I was absolutely terrified, as one normally is when you follow the universe's speakings. But I bought the store from two wonderful women named Lee and Jane, who still stop by and check in every once in a while. There's a lineage, so to speak. Leslie is another former store owner. Jean, Scotty, they all stop in and check on me and teach from time to time. It's just been a wonderful, supportive community. And so I think it's been kind of an evolution over time. There's some of the brands that were here when Lee and Jane had the store, but I always try to bring in at least a couple of new things every season so that there are things that are fresh and interesting, and we're not getting too dependent on any one or two brands. We've got a nice array of things, and I'm always open to suggestions. Whenever anybody goes to visit other yarn stores, that's the first thing I want to know. It's like, okay, what do they carry? What else is out there? Great. What else is out there? Not to copy, but just to kind of learn and grow. And honestly, most of the yarn stores in Vermont are pretty communicative with each other and really kind of share ideas and suggestions. We do a lot of classes and make-alongs in the fall and winter. We don't run them so much now because it's absolutely gorgeous outside, and I knit every single day of my life. Okay, but I do know that there are people who maybe do that a little bit less.
Yes.
In the warm weather, that's all
My
right.
phrase is I knit small.
Yeah.
In the summer months.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's no sweaters or blankets on needles in my house.
Yep.
Hats, some shawls, maybe a scarf, but yes, nothing that reminds me of the cold we just survived.
Absolutely. I was working on a sample hat for one of our new fall yarns before you and Claudia got here. So yeah, there's always a project to be had, even in the warmer months. And I actually wanted to introduce you to Estella. She's my emotional support chicken. She's actually named for my grandmother. That came to me as we were all making our chickens here in a make-along. And these were Grandma's colors, and it was just perfect. But the reason I want you to meet her is she's a very well-traveled emotional support chicken.
Do tell.
So Yarn has now sponsored 2 trips with a wonderful company called Rowan Tree Travel. They're kind of based out of New Hampshire, and they do yarn and fiber and craft related tours all over the place, all over the world. And 2 years ago in 2024, we did Ireland through the Maker's Lens and did an absolutely wonderful tour of Ireland that included some workshops with Carol Feller, and Estella's been to the Blarney Castle like me. She preferred to stay firmly on the ground rather than
not be hung upside down backwards.
No, really no. But it was beautiful, beautiful scenery. She went to the headquarters of Hedgehog Fibers, and we have all these wonderful pictures of Estella in beautiful settings.
I love that
farms and all kinds of wonderful places in Ireland. And the group that went to Ireland became such a tight-knit community and such a wonderful group of women that we decided we had to do it again. So this year in April, we went to Wales. Again, wonderful tour of Wales. We went to Wonder Wool Wales, which is one of the largest fiber festivals in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, just incredible. Just to see all of the things, all of the Welsh yarns, all of the things that we wouldn't normally see in the US. This is a beautiful, it's called wool decanted. I don't remember why they call it that, but I had the most wonderful conversation.
I'm just going to snag one.
Yeah, with these 2 women.
Closer to the camera,
and
so
I'm making a little shawlette that's one of their patterns, and looking into bringing maybe some other things into the store. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's again part of how we got the dye gilpin, and you have to kind of continually see what else is out there even beyond the US.
Yes.
So wonderful trips, and my goal is to do one every 2 years. So
that's
Ireland
exciting.
in 2024, Wales in 2026. We'll see what's coming up in 2028.
Okay. I'm thinking Iceland. It's a place I've always wanted to go.
Iceland's a good possibility. Italy has a wonderful fiber scene.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what and Estella will be traveling with us. She is a well-traveled chicken.
I love that. Okay, so Jen, what do you have going on this summer here in the shop?
So summer, we try to be a little bit more laid back with our approach to events. We always have open fiber twice a week. We have it on Thursdays from 11 to 1 and Saturdays from 1 to 3, so that anybody who wants to can just come and bring a project and sit and have what we call fibership, a little bit the fellowship of the needles.
I love that,
so to speak.
yeah. I love that you do it on a Saturday, because not a lot of local yarn stores do that.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
We wanted to balance, because there are some folks who are working during the week and some, so we wanted to balance. And then we've also done 2 make-alongs. The first is a Sunshine Coast top, and this is another great all-season yarn. We just started carrying it this summer, and the rep has been trying to get me to carry it, and he was right. It's called Queensland Trinity, and it's another fabulous blend. This is 50% silk, 30% wool, and 20% cotton. Here, feel that. It is
it's beautiful. Here,
glorious.
I'll show this over here.
And it's got a little nubby texture to it. Yep, and again, it's a 3-season yarn, really, because it's you can wear it, I think, further into the fall. And so the Sunshine Coast top, and you can find that on Ravelry, is something that you can adjust a little bit in terms of how long you want the sleeves. It's a very comfortable top for spring, summer, and fall. So we're doing that. And then we also had a knit along for these holding space vessels. And I saw this on Instagram and I was like, oh my goodness, I love these. Now this one was my first one and I'm not sure I did the bottom quite correctly. But the idea was it takes at least 3 colors of a super bulky, and you have a lot left. So we brought people together for the make along so that people could kind of share colors. And this is the second one I made. And this is going on my holiday gift list. Someone is getting a much larger one of these from me for Christmas. Because it's just so versatile. You can use any combination you want.
I love this.
Yeah, any kind of super bulky yarn, and it's a super bulky project you can do this time of year without, being too difficult in the heat. You don't want to make a sweater right now, but you can make a vessel. And again, it's very social. Share colors, and the options are endless.
So for fall, when can folks start looking for classes that you might be scheduling now and getting on your calendar?
We're working on that now, and we'll probably be posting right around mid-August for our fall array of classes and make-alongs. And we typically try to have a nice variety of projects.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a sweater class. You have to have a sweater class, right? And there's some great ones, I think, due out from designers in the next couple of weeks as people start to think about Rhinebeck, as hard as that is to even picture. And then we also try to do a few smaller classes as well. Leslie, who is one of the former owners of the store, typically does a make-along on these wee little trees that she designed.
It's adorable. Look
it
at
is.
This.
It's adorable. It's easy. It's a one-session class that she does most falls. We'll probably have a couple hat classes and try to have at least one crochet, either class or crochet along. We have a wonderful crochet instructor, Bill, who teaches all kinds of interesting things. In fact, this chicken that I've already showed you is made out of Tunisian crochet by one of Bill's students. So that'll probably be about mid-August.
All right. So big question. What about the Great Northern Yarn Haul?
The haul is running now. The Great Northern Yarn Haul runs for all of July, and it's absolutely wonderful for all of the yarn stores in Vermont. And there's a passport that has all of the participating yarn stores in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So it's truly the Great Northern Yarn Haul.
And it's kind of a band that goes across the 3 states. You're not northern Maine, but you're kind of all in the same almost longitudinal area.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And the idea is with most yarn hauls is to visit as many of the stores, and there are a few farms on there as well, as many of the participants as possible, get your passport stamped, and then the more places you visit, the better the prizes you're eligible for at the end. And every store has their own store prize as well. So of course, taking names for people who come into the store. But it's great because there's people that we don't necessarily see any other time of year. They come up, they organize a nice yarny road trip with their friends, and they go. There's a great map actually that we can provide people so that you can kind of plot your route, and it's just wonderful to see those folks every summer. And honestly, it's also fun. I mentioned the other yarn stores in Vermont and the fact that we're very communicative and supportive, and it's fun to say, okay, where are you going next? All right, tell Chris that Jen said hello. And it's just a very community feel to it. And actually here in Waterbury, we have really a nice community of businesses that really kind of support each other. And there's a lot of things to do here. The old Stagecoach Inn down the street here,
which we passed on our way in.
Lovely place, historic inn. They offer a special for the Great Northern Yarn Haul, so they can give you more information about that. So for people who want to come and stay overnight and make it kind of a 2 or 3 day thing and really hit all of the stores in Vermont, that makes it easy to do.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and this time of year we see a lot of people from all over the place. They do exactly what I do whenever I'm visiting a new place. They find the yarn store. And so, in a typical week at this time of year, or also during ski season, we can have 5 or 6 different states and maybe a country or 2 represented with the people who are coming into the store. And it's great. We have a couple local breweries, so we get a lot of couples who come in, and typically she's here for the yarn and he's here for the beer, although I have seen that reversed. Which is, it's important to note. We have a great bookstore in town. There's a lot of different things to do. And so it's fun for people to kind of really make a day of it in Waterbury. The Mad River Valley is, I'm kind of pointing toward it, but it's very close by over here for folks who are going skiing or exploring the valley in other seasons of the year. Stowe is probably about 10-ish miles that way, so we get a lot of folks coming from both of those areas as well. Can't tell you how many folks we've had say, okay, I'm going to shop here at the yarn store, but then I have to be out of here by 1:45 because we got our Ben and Jerry's tour booked. So it's wonderful. I always wish they'd do the tour first and bring me some ice cream, but that's okay. They found the yarn store. That's the important thing. So it's a great location.
Oh, I love that. Hi Mini Knitters, it's Holly. Thank you again for finding my channel. I hope you enjoyed the video of my trip to Waterbury, Vermont to yarn. I love the name yarn. I feel like I'm saying it with such emphasis. My appreciation, to Jen Carlo for opening the store on a Monday so that I could get a chance to go and giving me the tour. It was really exciting to be there, and I was really happy with everything. I wanted you to know that, first of all, I did buy some yarn. I wanted to get some Jamieson and Smith yarn, and I did when I was there. Now, I showed you the 4 colors that I picked up at the Woolly Thistle a few weeks ago, and I started to knit a hat. And here is my hat so far. So let me hold that up for you. And as I shared, I was using doodle decks. So I've got I'm getting about 6 stitches, 7 per inch. So moving right along here, it's taking forever. I don't usually knit with fingering weight yarn, but I wanted to show you the new colors that I got. They're a little tangled down here, but you can see I picked up the white and blue, which I am knitting with now. My goal was to do every motif with 2 different colors. So here we go. And then I picked up a slightly darker blue, which I love. It kind of feels a little bit like blueberry, but it has a little bit of pink in it. I want to try to hold this so that you can see it. And then I picked up a medium gray. They had a lighter gray, but it felt a little too close to the white. And then I picked up this gorgeous pink. It's almost orchid in color. What I loved about the colors that I chose on this trip is they're very cool. So I'm gonna hold these and see if I can hold them all up there. And then I have these 4. And of these 4, only one of them, this turquoise, is what I would consider a cool color. And I tend to have cool color tendencies. But individually, I loved all these, so I felt the need to pick up more yarn. I'm very happy that I did. I love the Jamiesons. It's very affordable. Each hank or skein rather was just slightly over $6. So I feel like that was really affordable. And I'm just gonna double check. There's 125 yards. And I'm knitting, again, here I'm knitting with a size 3 needle. So really loving the work that I'm doing. I'm waiting a little bit until it's a little bigger before I decide if I'm going to turn it into a cowl or not to keep using the colors. I wanted to try this. It's a pretty rustic yarn. It's very woolly wool, as you hear from the Woolly Thistle when they talk about their products. So it's a little rustic. So far it's not so scratchy, but you can feel like it blends to itself as I'm knitting. So I am enjoying it. So Thanks again for checking in. Please like and subscribe all the wonderful things that you do on YouTube. I still have yet to figure out the algorithm. I'm not sure anybody has actually figured it out, but I do know that when people like and subscribe, it does boost the channel so other folks see it. And I really love that. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for finding Amity Knitters, which is named after the greatest film ever made, Jaws. Amity is the town in Jaws. So Amity, as you know, means friendship. So thanks for being a yarny friend and sticking with Amity Knitters. I'll see you on Thursday.